Charge the Lions Den with me right now. Lions News Fan Report family. If you think you can handle a bombshell brewing under the Ford Field turf, smash that like button and subscribe to keep your roar heard across Motown. Picture this. The hottest question mark in Detroit isn't on the defensive front. It's under center, where whispers have turned into full-throated rumors that our once heralded rookie phenom, Hendon might not survive the final roster call. Could a torn ACL and rehab-ridden rookie year be the Achilles heel that cost him his spot? Is head coach Dan Campbell and GM Brad Holmes ready to write off the Tennessee graduate before he's even taken a single regular season snap? What if the backups we've welcomed veteran Teddy Bridgewater and savvy free agent Kyle Allen offered the poise and experience to leapfrog Hooker on the depth chart? We all rejoiced when that injury update landed on June 14th, suggesting Hooker's knee was trending in the right direction, and the signing of cornerback Javelin Guidry lit optimism across the locker room. But let's cut through the hype. This is still the cold, hard NFL, where potential means nothing once the pads go on. Hooker's first real audition last summer showcased tantalizing flashes gunslinger arm, mobility to escape the pocket, but as Jeff Riston of USA Today's Lions Wire noted, those moments weren't enough to convince anyone he'd mastered the blitz-heavy complexities of an NFL playbook. Remember, he not only lost the no-2 job to Bridgewater when the veteran emerged from retirement, he watched practice reps slip through his fingers as David Blau, Nate Sudfeld, and even Jake Fromm once claimed the clipboard with more consistency. Fast forward to this offseason. A new offensive coordinator is dialing up tweaks that demand rapid reads and pinpoint timing. And Kyle Allen isn't here to make up the numbers. He's here to push a third-round investment off the roster. Every snap counts now, and Hooker's once-insulated rehab period is over. The spotlight is unforgiving, and the whispers are growing louder that he could be the odd man out when Detroit turns in its final 53. Could this be the moment the Lions decide that a redshirt redone isn't the path to a Super Bowl contender? Could the phone have already buzzed in Hooker's ear, requesting another audition, this time not on the practice squad, but on the waiver wire? Imagine the scene. Countdown to roster cuts, Ford Field's lights glaring, Hooker standing on the Carlton sideline wearing a headset, heart pounding, as his name sits in limbo. Fans are weighing his college heroics, those jaw-dropping scrambles and deep strike accuracy against 2 seasons of behind-the-scenes grind with no real reward. Some insiders even suggest Detroit could look beyond its own auditions, flirting with signals callers like UFL MVP Bryce Perkins, whose dual-threat dynamism turned heads in Birmingham. Could Perkins' electric 1,342 passing yards and 301 rushing yards be the spark Detroit covets more than Hooker's untested promise? This isn't just a roster decision. It's a turning point in Detroit's identity. Cling to a raw talent clawing his way back from injury, or hedge the bet with proven vets who can manage games from day one. Hooker's journey has all the makings of an epic underdog tale, but epic tales don't always end with a hero's encore. They sometimes close with a door slamming shut. Will our young hero rise to the challenge, adapt to a revamped playbook, and silence every doubter in silver and Honolulu blue? Or will the Lions front office make the gut-wrenching call to cut bait and send him packing before he ever truly roars? One thing's for certain, the grind at training camp has never felt more consequential, and the fallout from this decision could reshape Detroit's quarterback room for years to come. Stick around, because when the dust settles and that final cut is announced, the reverberations of Hooker's fate will echo through every fan's pulse one way or the other. This story is far from over. Asterisk, if you believe the Lions are finally ready to roar, hit that like and let's finish what we started. Imagine the tremor through Motown if on cutdown day, Detroit's brass makes the shocker and waves Hendon Hooker, replacing him with the steadier hands of Teddy Bridgewater, or even an unheralded UFL star like Bryce Perkins, and suddenly, the quarterback room isn't a hopeful experiment, but a calculated gamble on reliability. Picture Stafford-era echoes, a veteran gently shepherding a young offense, minimizing mistakes, and keeping the scoreboard humming while a rebuilding defense takes its first real breath. Could this pivot transform the Lions' identity from daring underdog to disciplined contender? Could the roar that echoes around Ford Field be less about dramatic heroics and more about strategic restraint finally paying dividends? Remember that burst in January 2024 when Detroit stormed back against the Rams, dragging playoff hopes into the final minutes? Fans still chant that memory. And what if it weren't a last-second miracle, but a methodical march under a matured signal caller that leads us back there again? If Bridgewater steps in to manage games with 64% completion and just 2 interceptions over 12 starts, those numbers may not dazzle, but they grind out wins, stabilize the locker room, and give Dan Campbell's defense the leash it needs to hunt. Or imagine Perkins, fresh off his UFL MVP run, threading laser-sharp 25-yard touchdowns, while shrugging off pressure with 60 rushing yards per game. Could he be the spark that electrifies Silverdome echoes all over again? Contrast this with Hooker's own odyssey, the college heroics, the ACL comeback, the redshirt whispers that morph into doubts at every huddle. Internal sources tell me that during 11 on -11 drills, Hooker's timing still lags by a beat, forcing receivers to adjust routes mid-flight and opening windows for veteran quarterbacks to look like maestros by comparison. If those whispers coalesce into official moves, fans will debate whether loyalty to a high-ceiling rookie outweighs the imperative to win now. Remember the heartbreak of 2017, when Stafford's long-term injury rerouted the franchise's trajectory for years. The calculus is brutal. Develop Hooker at practice squad price or secure Bridgewater's playoff-tested poise at a contender's rate? Think about how this decision ripples beyond the pocket. A knowing seasoned quarterback could coax rookies like Jahmyr Gibbs and Sam Laporta into rhythm, transforming Detroit's red zone woes into touchdown parades reminiscent of the 1957 Lions, who married rookie brilliance with veteran savvy to hoist a championship. Could this be the modern counterpart, a bold roster cut that ignites a new golden era? Or will Detroit remember 2008's scuffle in the paint when gut punches from on-field inconsistencies left fans hollow and rue another call that sacrificed raw talent on the altar of short-term security? The fan base itself hangs in the balance. Will the annual pilgrimage back to Ford Field feel electric or antiseptic? Will season ticket holders swap rally towels for spreadsheets, tracking completion percentages instead of chasing comeback legends? There's no middle ground here. This is Wildcat energy versus measured precision. Suppose Hooker clears waivers and lands with a division rival, chanting chants of "We told you so" in enemy end zones. Could that sting sharpen the Lions' resolve, binding fans together in spite of the setback? Or will it shatter the fragile trust between management and the silver and blue faithful, echoing the famous "one shining moment" line never heard? In these parts, in the end, this roster roulette spins beyond a single player. It asks whether Detroit bets on the unbreakable spirit of a Renaissance rookie or wagers on the calm command of proven veterans. Campbell's shoulders bear the weight of a city that lives for roar, not whisper, and homes must choose between legend in the making and reliable stewardship. Whatever happens, this moment will define the franchise's soul for seasons to come. So tell me, Lions hearts, are you ready to stand unflinching if Hooker's name vanishes from the depth chart? Are you prepared to embrace a quieter, surer quarterback life if that's what brings the silverware back to Michigan Avenue? The final horn is near, and we're about to find out if this city's roar is born from untested promise or hard-earned certainty. Either way, the Detroit Lions will never be the same.